Hi, my name is Lauren Roberts, and today we are going to discuss how you can achieve your best health with 4 life transfer factors. I'm sure you realize how important your health is. But some people, they end up putting off taking care of themselves until they're in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. But by that time, it's too late. You really need to do this now. It doesn't matter if you're my age, if you're younger than me, older than me. Start now in being able to achieve your best health. Some very important things that are needed to achieve your best health. You need to be, eating correctly. You need to make sure you're eating your fruits and your vegetables. You need to make sure you're getting your herbs in. You can take vitamins. You can drink plenty of water. Making sure you're getting enough sleep. That's vital. Some people don't realize how vital that is, but when you rest at night, that's when your body starts repairing itself from the damage that was accumulated the day before. So sleeping is also very important. 6 years ago, I would have said that being 50, 60, 70, 80 years old was really old. But now I've been able to be privileged to get to learn more about age, and I've been able to meet my mentor, Mike. And he is 70 years old now. And I would say he's 70 years young, because the normal things that I've seen with people as they were 60, 70, 80, 90, older, they had the stiffness and they were really sore. A lot of them had knee replacements by that time. There's a lot of things that had come that I thought was normal aging. But now that I've been able to be introduced to Mike, I realize that's not normal aging. A lot of the things we're seeing is a lot of premature aging. So now, what do? Our bodies are consistently under attack. And with all of these things we're dealing with, how can we be able to remain strong with all of these consistent attacks that we're coming against, like viruses and bacteria and fungi and pollution? We're not eating the right things. So sometimes the things we're consuming, like in water bottles, for example, in those plastic water bottles that are not BPH free, they have a molecule that's very similar to an estrogen molecule. And when we consume these bottles after they've been maybe sitting in the sun and that substance leaks into our water and we consume that, our body doesn't recognize that this is not estrogen, this is a foreign substance that we're consuming. And this causes a lot of damage. There's been a lot of studies that have been conducted along the years about these various things we're consuming and causing harm to our body and premature age. So, what can we do? I have got great news for you. There is a revolutionary discovery that I'm going to share with you today that you will be able to finally achieve your best health. Today, we're going to talk about transfer factor. Transfer factor has a long history of a lot of studies that have been conducted. Actually, there have been over 3,000 different clinical studies on transfer factors. To give you a little bit of a background, transfer factors were first discovered clear back in 1949 by Dr. Sherwood Lawrence. Dr. Sherwood Lawrence had a passion to be able to really help others in their health. And what he did is he was able to stumble across transfer factors, and I won't go into the details. Sometime we'll go into those details on how he came across transfer factors. But he came across transfer factors and he recognized how revolutionary transfer factors could be for you, for me, to be able to consume these transfer factors and utilize transfer factors in our bodies today. So, going on to what transfer factors are. Transfer factors actually are very vital to your overall health. Transfer factors manage your overall health. They are like a command and control center for your body's immune system. Now, I'm going to stop right there. And I'm going to explain this further because during my conversations that I've had with people over the years, sometimes they're like, hey, you're speaking a little different language. What does that mean? So I'm going to give you an illustration. And this is something that makes sense to me, and I hope it makes sense to you. So let's do an example. Let's take a military base, for example. When you have a military, you have a lot of different components that make up that military, okay? You have the commanders, the people that are clear at the top. You have people that are doing strategy, that are maybe at the war, and they're strategically planning what they're going to do to win that war. They don't want to waste their materials. They don't want to waste their men. You know, they want to make sure they're utilizing what they have at their best of their ability. So this same thing happens in your body. Now let's keep going in what this illustration is. Okay, sometimes you have a military base that is stationed somewhere, and you've got maybe a war that's on the other side of, let's say, over the hill. And you don't want to just go plowing over this hill with all your men with all these machine guns and just pray to God that there's not some big giant, I don't know, some bomber or something on the other side that's going to just boom, 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 annihilate your men. No, you send in some scouters that are going to scout out what the enemy is like there. You're going to come up with a strategic plan to make sure that you're going to take care of that threat without wasting all the materials that you have that you've got for your war, or wasting your fighters. You don't want to do that. So you'll send someone in there, and you've got a sniper, okay? And then you have the guy with the binocs, okay? So here's your sniper. The sniper is the guy, it's the transfer factors. It's the thing that's actually going to be able to take care of annihilating the threat through other tools that it's going to educate. You've also got nanofactors in your body's immune system. Now, nanofactors are like the guy with the binocs. They're sitting there, the sniper says, okay, we've got an H1N1 flu virus. Is that confirmed? The binocs is gonna say, confirmed, that's an H1N1 virus, fire. And they're gonna fire. And with one shot, they're gonna eliminate that threat. That is strategic planning, and it's strategically taking care of the threat, right? So, let's now move over and let's talk about your immune system. So what usually happens in our immune system is sometimes our bodies will actually over-respond to a threat. Let's take an allergen, for example. You've got this little teeny tiny allergen, and it comes in contact with you either through your nose or your mouth or your eyes, and all of a sudden you've got a tremendous amount of symptoms that are coming up. I mean, your eyes are just running, and they're puffy, and they're swollen, and they're itchy, and you've got other things running other places, and you're sneezing, and your body's trying to eliminate this threat. Okay? That's like taking an old farmer. Now, I can say that because I grew up with farmers, so I'm not trying to say farmers or anything, but I'm just saying I picture an old farmer that's out on his farm, and it's at night. You know, he's sleeping. He hears something in his yard, in his property. He gets a shotgun. You know, maybe it's sawed off at the end. I don't know, but a shotgun. And he goes out and he's looking. He can't see anything. It's dark outside, and he just starts just shooting out in the abyss. He doesn't know if he's hitting his target. He's hoping he is, but then he hears it rustle again. Do, 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 do. So he's doing damage. The next morning he goes out and he looks at the damage he's caused. Okay, he shot through his barn. He shot through his water reserve. Now his water's completely drained. I mean, he's caused so much damage, and then he sees the deer. And the threat wasn't that big of a deal. It's eating his garden, so it's a threat, but it's not a huge threat that he had to annihilate his entire farm area with a shotgun. Okay, so we don't want that type of response. We want to be able to be like the trained military, not the blind farmer that's shooting out in the dark. That's the same thing that we need for our immune system to be. Now, for like transfer factors, what they have done, over 3,000 clinical studies have been conducted. These are really, really, really important studies that have been conducted. What they've been able to do is find a way to be able to make our natural transfer factors over 437% more effective and more intelligent, more capable of being able to recognize the threats, respond to those threats correctly, and then remember those threats for future reference if you come back in contact with that. So let's talk about some of these 3,000 clinical studies that have been tested with transfer factors. We'll start with the first one and we'll end on the 3,000. I'm just kidding, we don't have that long. We're only going to talk about a few of these studies, but there are a tremendous amount of studies and a tremendous amount of credibility behind our transfer factors. So let's talk about the first one. One of these first studies that I'm going to talk about is with the IgA antibodies of the nose, mouth, and eyes. Now, this is a very important aspect of your immune system and being able to respond to the threats that you encounter on a daily basis. Like I mentioned just a little bit ago, most of the threats we encounter on a daily basis, we encounter through our nose, our mouth, and our eyes. And so what they found is by consuming our 4-Life transfer factors, we are able to actually increase the IgA antibodies in the nose, in the mouth, and the eyes. So you can now use this video to teach your children nose, mouth, and eyes by 73%. Now, you think that's amazing? It was actually shown in 100% of patients tested. That is phenomenal. Can you imagine your immune system being able to respond that quickly by increasing those warriors in your nose, in your mouth, and in your eyes by 73% more? The abundance of transfer factors, the abundance of the IgA antibodies, just really being able to saturate your nose, your mouth, and your eyes by 73%. This is a great study. Wow, transfer factors, they're awesome. But this is only the first one. There was another study conducted, and this is a really neat one. Since at the beginning of this video, we kind of talked about premature aging, we're going to talk about a study that was conducted on our 4-Life transfer factors and how our 4-Life transfer factors are actually able to reduce your biological age by helping to repair some of this premature damage that has accumulated over time. So, the study, let's just get the summary. There was a group of individuals that this study took, and they were already extremely healthy. They were actually already biologically younger than they were chronologically. So what does that mean? They were healthy. They were drinking their water, they were getting their sleep, they were taking their vitamins or their herbs. They were making sure that they're not eating poorly, they were exercising. So these people were already in great shape for their health. We didn't want to just go ahead and test someone that was, maybe not doing so good for their health. They wanted to make sure to go above and beyond and just really see what truly transfer factor can do for us anti-aging wise. So what they did is they took these extremely healthy people and they analyzed them and they added 4-Life transfer factor to their daily regimen for 6 weeks. Not 6 years, not 6 months, 6 weeks. And the results, they blow me away. I'm sure they're gonna blow you away. In 6 weeks, the study found that they were actually able to reduce their biological age by another 4.4 years. There was another study conducted on Renuvo, and this was actually conducted by the University of Missouri. What they found is that by consuming Renuvo, we were actually able to increase the natural antioxidant production of your body by 42% more and increase your natural detoxification process in your body by 43% more. And it also was able to reduce an agent that causes inflammation in the body by 64% more. Now, you think this is amazing? This was after only 30 days of use of these 4-Life transfer factor Renuvo product. Phenomenal. Now, one other thing I want to add is most of the products out there are only able to detoxify the body, maybe in the colon, or they're able to do the liver, but transfer factors is different. This transfer factor Renuvo was actually able to increase the detoxification process from every single cell within your body. There was another study conducted where they wanted to see what would happen if you consumed 4-Life transfer factor with other known nutrients. There was one specific study where they did a study on consuming 4-Life transfer factors with vitamin C. What they found is that by consuming 4-Life transfer factors and vitamin C, they were actually able to increase the effectiveness of the vitamin C by 500% more on a cellular level. So this is phenomenal. So not only does 4-Life Transfer Factors can they really help your health in so many different aspects when it comes to your own natural production of antioxidants, but when you actually combine 4-Life Transfer Factors with your other nutrients or the things that you're already consuming in your health, it's gonna make those things that much more effective. So, you really need to get your hands on this 4-Life Transfer Factor. It is a phenomenal product and you can really revolutionize your health, and you can start today. Keep in mind, some of these studies had shown after only 30 days of use. So you can start using 4-Life Transfer Factors and start experiencing your best health. Start consuming Transfer Factor today and achieve your best health. Get back to the person who introduced you to this video, and let's take the journey of optimal personal health together.